AI tools are not going to substitute your job. Somebody using those tools will, which is why we all need to, as professionals, start playing around with tools like ChatGPT. So why is this super important now? I have 3 reasons why every professional should start playing around with these tools right now in my particular world, right? So I'm a coach. I used to be a programmer. I have a master's in information systems. In a lot of ways, each of these different perspectives has helped me work through my own beliefs about this current trend that everyone's talking about. And I think it's really important because there's a lot at stake. There's a lot of fear. I've had colleagues say, if I use something like ChatGPT to write copy for my business, it feels like I'm cheating. It feels like I'm not authentic. It feels a little bit weird. But the objective of this video is to give you, again, 3 reasons why that's not the case and why you should get in and start to play, right? This is a call to get familiar with some of the tools as they're being built, quite frankly, so you can understand what's going on so that you can be ahead of the curve, or at least ahead of the curve for everyone else around you as these tools hit quick. And I think at the rate that technology changes, it has changed over the years, the pace has been increasing, that the whole AI wave is going to be very quick. And you don't want to be caught unaware. You don't want to be caught flat-footed. You don't want to be caught behind the ball and be one of those folks that loses your programming job or whatever professional job that these tools will have an impact on. And that is indisputable. Things will be changing, but will you be the professional who was ahead of the trend and can do so much more with these tools and
Position yourself to lead new AI-empowered jobs.
thinking about this? Like I said, I've been talking with peers about it, but personally, I've been using ChatGPT, tools like GetMunch and just playing around right now to try to get my bearings on what these tools are. Because one, this is the first technology I've experienced probably since the internet that I've been really excited about. And then it's just because it's so fundamentally game changing. And what do I mean by that? Like, I years ago decided to write an ebook for my first business on student debt. It took me about half a year to get the first draft done and another half a year to get the second draft done. I think I iterated over that like 10 times over 3 years. After that, it got a little bit quicker. And I still wasn't super happy with it. And I didn't really test it out, so it didn't go anywhere in that particular business. Last weekend, using ChatGPT, did a prompt, had it ask me some follow-up questions, and within an hour, I had a functioning like 5-page ebook that I'm excited, and it sounded like it was my voice. And so it was like 80% there, so you have to do the editing and massaging afterwards. But we can talk about that in a minute. So 6 months for the first draft to under an hour, like that's incredible. You can iterate very quickly through different ideas. You can test things out a lot quicker. And so that's a bright side of a lot of these tools, especially if you're a solopreneur. So here are 3 things that we all should be thinking about in terms of these new class of tools, right? First off, it's a tool. And that's amazing because the opportunity there means that there's a skill to be learned, right? So what is the skill that we really need to be thinking about? And again, like I said at the top of the video, AI will not take your job, but somebody using an AI tool will. And it's because it'll increase their productivity. Like I was sharing in my ebook example, you can be a lot more prolific with these tools. Also, it decreases the skill gap. So someone that might be an okay writer can be maybe a more advanced writer or higher grade because they can iterate, because they can learn quicker, because they can lean on these tools to help augment their abilities. So ultimately, there will be some domain expertise you need. Like if you're trying to use ChatGPT for coding, it'll help you, and you'll go a lot further if you have a software background than somebody that's just trying to start out. Because intuitively, some pitfalls you'll know, where you might need to optimize or something might look funny to you. So that is still an important skill, but you can act as a higher tier programmer if you use the tool properly, right? Or you can start to learn how to program and be okay quicker than someone that had to go to school for it or learn on the job like I did on how to do it. But it's this tool, right? Just means there's different skills that you need to learn. So now I'll list a couple of skills I think are important. I'm a certified high performance coach, and so I help people work through fears just like this. I'm going to lose my job because of technology. But asking questions is what's really important. And so how are you prompt engineering, right? That's the term I've been using. I think I've heard some other folks use it, but how are you engineering prompts? Where are you at prompt engineering to get the result that you want in a form that is as close to your vision for it as possible? And so that's just going to take a lot of playing around. And I don't feel like I'm an expert in that quite yet, but I know that I'm getting better because I've noticed when I do copy for my business or try to repurpose transcripts from videos like this, that it's pretty amazing. It's very helpful at getting some initial output and more of it done. So transforming it from a blog post to social media posts to an email announcing it to all these types of different things can be done in under a half hour, where it would take me longer because I'm introverted and I would like paint over every word. And this is a good base to that modify from. So super fun. So that's the first thing, right? Remember, these are AI tools, which mean there are skills that will need to be learned and skills we probably haven't even figured out quite yet, as this is all being built as we go. Second thing is the belief that, hey, this is here, right? And right now is the time to get in the game to start playing. And I love the word play in this context because that's what it is. Like, it might be super helpful. It could just be you're just curious. It could just be I just want to see what this thing is. As these things are being built, it's going to be great and helpful for everyone to really see the positive things that these tools can do and also the dark magic that could be applied on everyone. Because on that dark side, there will be scammers, there will be bad actors who are coming to get your family, and they'll use all sorts of different technologies. Now's the time to be talking with your grandparents, your parents, your siblings, your friends to say, hey, we need to really be sure that when you get like an email from me that you know it's from me, right? Don't assume that just because it's my name in that email and it sounds like me, or there's a video of me telling you to give me money or something, that there are tools now that can create that and that could not be you. Just making people aware that you have to be a little bit skeptical when it comes to communication in the digital world now, more after the whole social media thing, right? The tools are scary, but that's why you want to play around with them right now. You want to get familiar with them. You want to see what they can do, what they can't do, and you want to get in that conversation. So talk with your family members about how different applications of this, good and bad. And I think we'll have a much easier transition as this rapidly transforms going forward. Third thing, and this is my favorite one from my information systems background, is that ChatGPT in particular, but a lot of these AI machine learning systems are dynamic systems, right? And what that means is there's two adages that are important in a dynamic system, right? First, the adage, garbage in is garbage out. So if you have bad data or bad inputs going into the system, you're going to get bad results. So you can take a look at, I think it was the Microsoft AI bot that came out a couple of years ago that like 3 hours went super racist and like evil human sounding because it took in a bunch of bad inputs and people probably just joking around on the internet trying to make it do something terrible, fed it a bunch of bad inputs, which had a bad response after that, right? This is true in all systems. If you put bad nutrition into your body, you're not going to have the energy that you need coming out at the other end. But if you put in healthy nutrition and things like that. You'll have better energy, stuff like that, right? So garbage in is garbage out, or quality in is quality out. Now, the second thing about this type of learning system is that the system changes as there's inputs put in. So why is that important? As the tool itself starts to learn what people want or how to group things in particular ways, it's not, I mean, here's the best analogy, right? Over the life of a car, right? So you buy a car in the next 15, 20 years, you're going to keep it. During that 15 and 20 years, you're going to have some general maintenance. So by driving around, you're going to wear brakes, you're going to wear tires, you might have some wear and tear on just things repeatedly moving and getting more down with belts and stuff like that. So that you'll have to replace some of those parts. But the act of using that car is changing how that system works. And if you don't take care of that stuff, it breaks, right? You can't start the engine, or it doesn't move forward, or it doesn't break when you want it to, which are all important things when you're dealing with a car. But that's like over the course of a car's life. You might have that. You might have updates to safety. So maybe you have a newfangled safety belt that they haven't invented yet that'll make it more safe, or automated driving. And we're talking about AI. That's probably going to be another big feature that people have been testing out in like Teslas and other types of situations and companies. But it's that those types of things might need to be added to that car. For these AI and like machine learning things, the more data you feed it, the more it sets its own rules, develops weird capabilities. And that's important because these both mean that it's going to rely on the inputs coming in, which means it's going to be some person somewhere either setting up a program or you feeding transcripts or whatnot. And one, you can implement a little bit how the model works out. And more importantly, though, that when the stuff starts to develop a bit more, again, it's that engineering part that's going to be really important as we go forward. Our three very essential reasons why every professional should start playing around with AI tools like ChatGPT right now. It's to build the skills so you don't get replaced by another human using AI tools. It's to play so you can communicate and understand and protect your families and others as this develops. And it's also to really have a part in shaping some of these systems as they go forward. And also on that particular note, that the inputs you give it are uniquely yours, right? So my friend that was thinking like, oh, I'm cheating if I use ChatGPT to run copy off of a video I made. It's your words, it's summarizing it, it's getting rid of some extra language, or it's letting you know that there's parts that you missed that you might want to follow up in, which is all really good and solid things. So those are the three reasons why we should all be playing around with this stuff today. With that said, just remember that there's an opportunity right now to get ahead of these tools or to be ahead of everyone else around you so that you're not the one that loses your job or gets replaced when inevitably these tools impact your industry. With that said, keep learning. I believe this is an exciting time. I think as we figure out more of these essential skills that we'll see a shifting in jobs. I don't think jobs will be eliminated. And it's a pretty strong statement to say right now, and I'm still figuring this out too. I'm probably wrong on some of this, but this is how I'm thinking through it now in this moment. And hopefully that was helpful for you. And with that, go out there, live with more joy, more growth, more impact in your communities. This is Shawn Butler signing. Also, real quick, if you are interested in learning more about AI, I have a quick guide that I made a couple months ago. It's probably super old. You can find it below to find some prompts for you to start playing around with some stuff that I found helpful. Again, it's a little bit outdated at this particular moment, but I'm working on a full new set of tools and stuff. So sign up for that and you'll be the first to know as I release new PDFs or new course on AI tools for professionals. So if you're interested, hit that link below, get that one pager PDF on some of my favorite prompts, and we'll go from there. Take care.